In the heart of post-war America, when chrome ruled the highways and Detroit was booming, Ford Motor Company set out to change the game. They promised a car like no other, a revolution in design, engineering, and luxury. That car was the 1958 Edsel. But just months after its flashy debut, the Edsel became the punchline of an industry joke. Critics called it a lemon, dealers couldn't give them away, and Ford suffered one of the biggest commercial flops in history. So what really happened? Was the Edsel truly a disaster, or was it misunderstood? Let's uncover the strange and surprising story of the Edsel, and why it still matters today. Ford didn't rush into the Edsel. In fact, they spent over 10 years developing it. The goal? Create an entirely new division, not just a new model that would slot between the affordable Fords and the upscale Mercurys. They believed there was a missing link in the market. The project, originally codenamed E-Car for experimental, would eventually cost Ford over $250 million to bring to life. Adjusted for inflation, that's nearly $3 billion today. It was the most expensive launch of a new car brand ever. Ford's marketing team reviewed over 6,000 possible names. Some were bold, like Corsair and Citation. Others were just strange, like Utopian Turtle Top. Focus groups hated most of them, and in the end, they chose to honor the late Edsel Ford, son of Henry Ford and former company president. But many critics argued the name lacked punch. It wasn't inspirational or exciting. Some even felt it was too personal, tying the car too closely to the Ford legacy. The Edsel's most controversial feature was its front-end grille, a bold vertical oval intended to set it apart from every other car on the road. Designers called it horse collar styling, but consumers weren't dazzled. It was quickly mocked in the press, with comparisons to an Oldsmobile sucking a lemon, or even more colorful and less polite imagery. The irony, that bold look was meant to be futuristic and distinctive, but instead it alienated buyers and became one of the first things people criticized. The Edsel introduced several high-tech features for its time, including the teletouch transmission, push-button gear selection located in the center of the steering wheel. It sounded like a great idea until people accidentally hit it when honking the horn. And that wasn't the only issue. The electronic systems were overly complex, often installed incorrectly at factories due to rushed production timelines. Some cars arrived at dealerships with parts missing, or with misaligned panels. The Edsel was trying to be high-end, but many customers got a car that felt unfinished. Ford couldn't have picked a worse time. Why pay more for a car that wasn't truly original? It felt like Ford had dressed up an old package and expected buyers not to look under the hood. dealers were caught off guard. Many didn't know how to sell the Edsel. Advertising was vague, and promotional materials failed to clearly explain what made it special. To make things worse, Ford originally planned a major launch event, but cars were delayed, incomplete, or damaged. When vehicles finally did arrive, buyers were puzzled. The trim levels were inconsistent, the pricing confusing, and quality control was hit or miss. Within months, many dealerships gave up and started discounting Edsels just to get them off the lot. By 1959, Ford had seen enough. After producing just over 110,000 cars, the Edsel division was disbanded. The company pulled the plug hard. In under 24 months, the Edsel had gone from a billion-dollar hope to a billion-dollar embarrassment. Estimates suggest Ford lost over $350 million, a staggering amount at the time. The Edsel became the textbook case of market misreading, and to this day, business schools still study it as a cautionary tale. So was the Edsel a bad car? Not really. It had good power, comfortable interiors, and was ahead of its time in many ways. But poor timing, overhype, and clumsy execution sealed its fate. Today, surviving Edsels are prized by collectors. They represent more than just a failed product. They remind us how easily ambition can backfire, and how quickly public opinion can change. The Edsel may have vanished from showrooms, but its mystery lives on. Which of these surprising facts shocked you most? Drop it in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more forgotten car legends and automotive mysteries.